I always like to have a plan for my garden, even if I don't stick to it completely, to know where I would like to end up. So I've put together 8 things I've learned about spring garden planting. Right out of the gate, the first thing you want to keep in mind is grow what you will eat. Everyone says growing lettuce is easy. I hate lettuce, but I love collards, kale, and mustard greens. And rather than using lettuce, I make salads without it. A good rule of thumb in the gardening world is leaves are gold. It is some of the best fertilizer you can get. It breaks down to make compost, provide ground cover to hold in moisture, and provide your soil with good organic matter to bring in worms to create a great harvest. And the best part is, they're free if you have trees or know someone with trees. Now's the time to make friends. Very often I'll see people setting bags of leaves out for garbage pickup, and I'll ask if I can have them. Just be careful that no grass clippings are mixed in, because some people use pesticides on their lawns. Piled up, leaves take a while to break down into compost. So I like to help the process and grind them up into a fine powder so their nutrients are released quicker into the soil. And then cover that with a thick layer of regular leaves. And believe me, if you have leaves, you will have worms. It's a magic trick worms perform. Again, it's all for free. Believe it or not, the humble little bee is key to your garden success, because they move from plant flower to plant flower and pollinate your plants to produce fruit. So, include as many flowers as possible in your garden to make it a buffet for bees. And having flowers in your garden does not mean running out and buying tons of flowers from the big box store. Get cuttings from friends and drop them in water. In a lot of instances, those cuttings will sprout roots. Or get cheap flower seeds and grow them in ground. All you want is a flower. It doesn't have to be a botanical garden level flower. The bees don't care. All they want is nectar. Speaking of bees, I know it's tempting to run out and get a pest killer when you see your hard work being eaten up by bugs. But a lot of pest killers also kill bees. You may not know it, but the bee population is declining. Even something as harmless as food-grade diatomaceous earth, or DE, should be used cautiously and kept away from flowers, or applied in the early evening when bees are no longer active, because it can kill bees. What I like to do is companion plant veggies that can help deter pests from your main crop. Things like basil with tomatoes or marigolds do a good job of warding off maybe not all, but a lot of pests that can harm your crop. It may seem silly, but find ways to cook what you grow. You may not believe it, but some people grow stuff and then let it spoil in the refrigerator. If I'm starting a new crop, I like to do an online search for recipes for that vegetable. When I started growing loofah, I found out the young gourds are very delicious and used all over the world in stir fries and stews. I've come to love their sweet taste, eat them as soon as they form, and only allow a few to get big so I can use them as sponges or get new seeds. The same goes for tomatoes. I use them in salads and make more than enough salsa to take me through the football season. Other vegetables I freeze so I can have frozen collards, sweet peas, or other vegetables in the off-season. I swear by bone meal for healthy root development, and it is a great fertilizer to get transplants started, but it can be expensive. So I've learned to make my own. I save all my bones in a container that I keep in the refrigerator. After about 6 weeks, I place them in an Instant Pot and pressure cook them for 2 hours until they literally crumble. They're then baked in the oven for about 10 minutes to completely dry them out, and after letting them cool, I grind the bones up in a blender. I don't think I have to worry about any disease or bacteria. After going through the Instant Pot and then the oven, they have definitely been killed. It's tempting to buy something that solves a problem quickly, but the cost of those purchases can add up just as quickly. The thing I love about gardening is that in some ways it forces you to experiment and problem solve. One of my garden hoses developed a leak. I learned how to use a repair kit. I needed more garden space and figured out how to make trellises. And a raised bed bucket stand. The sun was killing my veggies, and I figured out how to build a sunscreen. Before I buy anything, I ask myself if I can complete the task with things I already have, or if I can cut the cost of the new gadget by making parts of it myself. This way, you save enough money so if you do have to buy the new item, it doesn't break the bank. Gardening simply asks us to make the attempt. And finally, it's fun to try a new variety of seeds for vegetables you've heard about or seen online. But if I like something I've grown, I want to save those seeds if I can. Not only do these new seeds pass on information about the last growing season, they add a level of predictability to your gardening. You know this crop will grow in your area, when some of the seeds you've seen in those videos might not. If I don't know how to save the seeds, I simply do a YouTube search for someone to show me how to do it. Trust me, someone will show you how to save those seeds. Saving your seeds is one of the best cost-saving methods there is. So there you have it, my 8 takeaways from growing my garden. I'm sure some of you have a few tricks that will probably help others. So be sure to leave them in the comments. See you next time.